Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One. Thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Omega Speedmaster Broad Arrow Olympic Collection 5-counter chronograph. You can see this unique Date 2008 Olympic Commemorative Edition on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card at the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time in the video to see our full listing for this watch with high-resolution images, complete pricing information, and accessories included. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. This is a variation on a watch that I've showcased before, but I find when a watch has a transformative change, a different dial, a different case, a strap versus a bracelet, it really transforms enough of the character of the watch that a second impression is necessary and a second review will do. Now, you can see the watch 44 1/4 millimeters across the round of the case is also quite thick, 16.5 millimeters, and you can see the cantilever of that tachometric scale bezel is going to impede most exceptionally tight dress cuffs or sleeves. But the ace in the hole in terms of wrist fit and sleeve fit is the incredibly compact lug-to-lug measurement. Only 50 millimeters. It's far more compact from lug to lug than almost every other watch in the 44 to 45 millimeter class. It's easy to slide a sleeve around the edges of this watch and then over in a natural fluid fashion, and that really is its saving grace as a timepiece that can be used with formal attire. Because with this black rectangular scale alligator leather strap, it's actually better suited to formal attire or ensembles than its bracelet-borne counterpart. It's an elegant, beautifully built strap that has just a little bit of stuffed bolstering, so it swells and transitions seamlessly visually into the lugs. It's a graceful transition, and it's a thoughtful touch, a subtle one, but it speaks to the attention to detail lavished on this 2008 Olympic edition. Now, the leather is of excellent quality, and it thins out nicely as it moves away from the lugs so that it's very soft for the soft underside of the wrist, and you can see just how thin and supple it is on the perforated end, allowing the integrated minder system on this twin trigger clasp to easily hide any excess underneath the clasp itself. That's right, there are no minder loops on this, and it is very, very clean when closed. You can see beautifully polished on its interior, very substantial. It also features those twin triggers, and I always like to say that when you have a heavy sports style watch, twin triggers means that you're not going to have an accidental deployment. It can't pop open like a friction fit clasp. It closes with a snick, a snap. It's beautifully made. Now, the case itself is a gorgeous combination of black, silver, with a few shocks of red. Looking at the watch head, you can see that it's the classic image of a Speedmaster Professional. It has the beveled case, it has the asymmetrical semi-crown guard layout that originated in the mid-60s, and it nicely encompasses a dial that's a combination of past and present Omega imagery. Now, you can see inboard there's a little step to the hour and minutes track. Outboard of the applied diamond polished indices, it adds a little bit of visual articulation, a little bit more depth, and another tone to the dial. Now, inboard, the dial itself is matte black, which allows all the diamond polished elements as well as the hands at center to really pop against that backdrop. It is fully loomed both on the hands and the indices, so in true sports watch fashion, it's visible in low or no light. The watch has a unique layout on its dial, known as the 5-counter chronograph. It's not precisely that, as at 9 o'clock you see constant seconds, and actually below the hands and atop the cannon pinion, there's actually a day indicator. So the watch is a very subtle day date, with the day at center and the date at 6. Now, the remainder of the counters are comprised of a seconds indicator, chronograph seconds, so you have chronograph seconds at center, you have chronograph minutes, you have chronograph hours, and then there's a unique 7-day chronograph register, so you have 5 total counters plus chronograph seconds on the dial. A little bit of vintage imagery, harking back to the 50s with the broad arrow hour hand, and with the Omega marquee at 12 o'clock, a little bit of a nod to the original 1932. These were actually chronograph pocket watches debuted by Omega in Los Angeles. That was Omega's first turn as the official timer of the Olympics, and so that moment in time and that historic landmark is celebrated in a very subtle vintage font and vintage Omega logo. Now, inside the watch is an interesting take on Omega's co-axial system. You can see the embossed case back, Olympic commemorative, handsome, and it contains that Omega caliber 3888, powering the 5-counter chronograph. It's a 33-jewel unidirectional winding coaxial chronograph based on the Valjoux 7750. Now, it's unique because it's one of the few coaxial adaptations of the 7750. There have only been a bare handful through the 2000s to present. Now the watch has a 52-hour power reserve, a free sprung balance. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. Again, it is a day-date elaboration of the basic movement. It also features the hallmarks of the underlying value caliber, namely, it's remarkably efficient in its winding system with the unidirectional mechanism. It also contains a quick set function for the date should the watch run down. You can rapidly correct it. And when you pull the crown, it does feature a hacking function, so you can synchronize the watch precisely to a known accurate reference time, such as an Olympic clock. Also important to note is that should you fit the watch to the aforementioned bracelet, a NATO or some sort of textile or rubber strap, it does have 100-meter water resistance, so it is a full-fledged sports watch, being able to dive in shallow waters, being able to wade, swim, and bathe without any complication or compromise of the case. Just remember to swap out that strap. But on the strap, you have one of the most versatile and handsome contemporary Omega chronograph efforts, with 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the present, and thanks to that beautiful strap, a completely different aesthetic as its bracelet-borne counterpart. You can see this unique Omega 5 counter chronograph and buy it on our website, watchyouwant.com.